Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing all good. In today's video, we will discuss a very special program. It is a new program which is launched by 4 Atlantic provinces and federal government. Believe me, it is very useful for people who want to move to Canada. We will discuss all details about this program in this video. This program is called Atlantic Immigration Program, which is also known as AIP. Before we discuss this program in detail, let's look at what are the benefits of this program. The first benefit is to hire through this program. Employer doesn't need a labor market impact assessment, which is LMI. The next benefit is you do not require proof of funds. There's almost no age limit as well for this program. You also require very low ILS or CLB 5 or 4 under this program. Also, there's no need to create expressed entry profile. On the top of that, all kinds of jobs are available under this program. It doesn't match which no-code or tier-code jobs fall under. Also, you require minimum work experience to be eligible under this program. This program aims to bring candidate to the reason to fill positions for which Canadian citizens and permanent residents are not available. In this video, we are going to discuss in detail about these topics one by one. The first one is details about Atlantic Immigration Program, which is also called AIP Second Age, which 4 provinces fall under this program who can apply. What are the documents or checklists required for this program? How to get a job offer, requirements and eligibility criteria under this program, how to get permanent residency finally. Let's discuss this program in more details. Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program was initially launched in 2017. Government had a great success under pilot program. So government have made this program a permanent program, which is now called Atlantic Immigration Program, so pilot program doesn't exist anymore. Let's move to the next flight, Atlantic Provinces of Canada. Many people doesn't know what is Atlantic Canada, and where does it fall on map of Canada? And which provinces are part of Atlantic Canada? Before we discuss AIP or Atlantic Emulation Program in detail, let's have a look at map of Canada and see where does Atlantic Canada is located. Atlantic Canada has 4 provinces as shown in blue color. Here, the first one is New Brunswick. Then second one is Nova Scotia. Third is Prince Edward Island, and the fourth one is Newfoundland and Labrador. Let's discuss some important facts about AIP under this program. Till date, more than 15,000 newcomers moved to Canada with residency, only in year 2022 alone. Atlantic provinces alone welcomed 6,500 newcomers in Canada in different key sectors like healthcare, manufacturing, accommodation, and food services. Let's see what are the target or quotas for new immigrants for the year of 2023, 2024, 2025. This is official table provided by a government. Here you can see that under Atlantic immigration for the year of 2023, target is to bring 8,500 newcomers to Canada. This number for 2024 is 11,500. And for 2025 is 14,500 newcomers to Canada. I will leave a link in description for this table. So in short, this program is great for people who want to move to Canada as a permanent resident and get settled permanently. Before we start this video, if you are coming to our YouTube channel, Viral Educator, for the very first time, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel to get most up-to-date news, tips, tricks about Canadian immigration. We try to make people self-dependent. Let's move to the next page. Who can apply for this program? You do not need to have to be in Canada. You can apply from anywhere in the world. The first kind of people who can apply under this program are skilled workers, and you require minimum work experience, and this work experience can be from anywhere in the world. The second type of people who are eligible under this program are international students, are recent graduate of our recognized post-country institute in Atlantic Canada. So this institute must be from one of the 4 Atlantic provinces. The first one is New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, and Newfoundland. Let's discuss what are eligibility requirements for international students. I want to mention that you do not need any work experience. If you are a student and you want to apply for permanent residency, the student must have to have a degree, diploma or diploma certificate from one of the 4 recognized post-country institute in Atlantic Canada. You need to have studies of at least 2 years in Atlantic Canada. And on the top of that, you need to be a full-time student for the entire time you are studying. And you must be living in one of the 4 provinces for at least 16 months during the last 2 years before you graduate. So these provinces are, again, I want to mention New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, and Labrador, or Prince Edward Island. Lastly, I want to mention that you have to have a valid visa or work permit or study permit while you are in Canada for study duration. If your main motive as a student in Canada is to get permanent residency, then this program is perfect for you guys. Let's move to the next slide. Here, I want to mention that no codes are also called tier codes, which is a 5-digit code. So here on this table, you can compare no codes to tier codes. If you don't know which no code or tier code you fall under, then you can find your no code or tier code using no code finder tool on IRCC website. So I will leave a link in description to this website so that you guys have access to this one. So here you can see that find your National Occupation Classification, NOC. So scroll down, category, tier, and examples of jobs. So under, you can see that on this table, each tier category is given, and it has described that which type of job fall under which tier category. So for example, tier category 1. So this category usually requires a university degree, and the jobs under these categories are like financial advisors, software engineer, mechanical engineers, civil engineers, etc. Similarly, you can find which category you belongs to if you are working. So let's scroll down, and here you can enter your profession name. For example, let's say I enter here mechanical engineer. So you can see that tier category for mechanical engineers is 1. And just corresponding to 1, you can find no code as well. So similarly, you can find your no code and your tier category using this tool. Let's move to the slide and let's discuss educational requirement. You must have one of the following things, the one we are going to discuss now. If you have a job offer at tier category 0 or 1, then you must have to have a Canadian 1-year postgraduate educational credential or higher. In case you don't have Canadian studies, then you must have equivalent studies from outside of Canada. In that case, you need to have ECA. So ECA stands for Educational Credential Assessment, is used to verify that your foreign degree in diploma or certificate or other proof of your credentials is valid and equal to Canadian education system. But if you have a job offer at a tier 2 category, 3 or 4 category, then you must have to have Canadian high school diploma. If you don't have Canadian diploma, then you are required to have equivalent studies from outside of Canada. Then again, you need a proof of ECA. Your ECA report must be less than 5-year-old on the date you receive your application. Let's move to the next slide. And if you are a skilled worker and then you want to know what are eligibility and requirements, first of all, I want to mention that your work experience can be from anywhere in the world. You minimum have to have a 1 year of work experience, and you must have worked at least 15 to 60 hours or minimum 30 hours per week. If you are confused that how to calculate your hours of work, then next part is for you guys. You can calculate your count of hours worked in part-time and full-time jobs. You can only count paid hours of work. Voluntary or unpaid internship do not count under this program. Do not count hours if you were self-employed. You can count hours worked inside Canada if you were eligible, or you can also count hours if you worked outside of Canada. Count only hours that were accumulated over the period of at least 12 months. Let's move to the next slide and discuss about language requirement for EIP. You must need to meet the minimum language requirements based on each tier category. If you want to find a job in tier category O1, 2, or 3, then you need to have a minimum of CLB or NCLC score of 5 in English or French. If you want to target a job of tier category 4, then you need to have CLB or NCL score of 4 in English or French. Here, I want to say that the first test, which is CLB, is for English and NCLC is for French, which is the second language of Canada. You must submit your result from designated language test organization with your application. These results must be less than 2 years old when you apply. Let's move to the next slide and let's discuss settlement funds which are required if you want to move to Canada. I want to mention that you do not need to show proof of funds if you are already working in Canada with a valid work permit. Funds are only required if you want to immigrate to Canada from outside of Canada. Here, I want to mention that you need to show very low settlement funds if you want to move from outside of Canada. You need to have enough money to support yourself and your family when you get to Canada. The amount you need to depend on size of your family. So here in this table, you can see that if you are a family of one, that you are alone and you want to move to Canada, then you need to have around $3,400 in your account. If you are family of two, then you can see corresponding amount. So similarly, you can see according to your family member, how much amount you require if you want to move to Canada. Let's move to the next slide. Get a job offer. In this slide, we will discuss how to get a job offer or where you can find jobs to be eligible under this program. Look for the job offer with the designated employer. Let's move to the official website of Canada where we can find more information about this program. So here you can see that you will need to seek job opportunities with designated employer. For more information, we need to click here. Let's say I click here on the first one, New Brunswick. So this will take us to the official website of New Brunswick. So here you can see that immigration and settlement in New Brunswick, Canada. So you can find all information on this website. For example, if we are looking for a job opening in New Brunswick, so on the right side, looking for a job offer, so I will click here. So it will take us to newbrunswickjobs.ca. So here you can find all types of jobs, which will open inside New Brunswick. If you know which kind of jobs you're looking for, simply search here. If you don't know which kind of jobs you want to apply, so simply click on search jobs. So it will take us to another page here where you have different kind of jobs here. Oh, you can sort here as per cities and as per your school time. So I will click here. Let's say skill type here. So you have under skill type management jobs, finance job, engineering jobs. So you have all kind of jobs under this section. So let's say, for example, I click here processing and in manufacturing utilities. So it will sort by this. So here under this section, we have jobs related to production, CNC operator, CNC machine operator, other kind of jobs you can find. So you can have idea that this portal is always very up to date, and you can find most of the jobs under this section. So for example, I will click here more info and it will give us description of this job. So you can see that the annual salary you will be making under this job. And then we can click on this link to have more information about this job. I will click here. So it will take us to another website where you can find more information about this job. So you can see here what is the salary, responsibilities and requirements for this job. So if you meet all these requirements and, if you meet all these responsibilities that you can fulfill, you can simply click on apply and submit your application. Before you apply for the job, I want to mention that you need to have or you need to prepare your resume and cover letter in Canadian format. I will leave a link in description to prepare your resume and cover letter, and you can follow this link and prepare your resume and cover letter. Similarly, you can find job openings on other provinces. For example, you can visit official website of Newfoundland and Labrador. You can go to Nova Scotia's website. You can go to Prince Edward Island website. So you can visit all these websites, and you can find relevant job openings in these provinces as well. I will leave a link in description for all the job portals related to these provinces in description you can find there. Lastly, you can also look for different job portals, for example, in the job bank portal at etc. to apply job openings in these provinces. Let's say, for example, you applied for different job and you received one job offer requirements as well. So let's discuss those requirements in detail. So the first requirement is the job offer you get, it must be full-time and it must be non-seasonal. And the second is for the tier 1, 2, 3 category job offers. Employer must offer you a job that is valid for at least of 1 year, that you will be minimum doing this job for 1 year. The third is the tier 4 category job offers. The employer must be offering you permanent employment. The next is the job offer cannot come from a company where you, the applicant or the spouse or the common law partner are majority owner. The next is the job must be at the same skill level or higher than the work experience that qualified you for the job. The last thing I want to mention that for certain healthcare sectors jobs, you do not need to have a job offer at the same skill level as or higher than the qualifying work experience. If you receive a job offer from an employer, ask for copy of employment confirmation of designation. Let's move to the next slide, settlement services. After you get a job offer from designated employer, a settlement plan will help you and your family adjust your new home in Atlantic Canada. So here you can see that there are two types of settlement plans which are free. So the first one is if you are already in Canada, then you need to read in here. And this is, for the people who are inside already Canada. But if you are outside of Canada, then there are many settlement service provider organizations, which helps you to settle down inside Canada. So if you want to find these organizations, so simply click on this link here. So this will take you to this, page here, and here you can scroll it down and you can see that a list of settlement service provider organization outside Canada and within Canada. So simply you can look on these links. Let's go back, get your certificate of endorsement. After you have your settlement plan, the province must endorse your job offer. Your employer will handle this whole process. Don't submit your application for permanent residency until you confirm with the employer that your offer has been endorsed. If province endorses your job offer, you will get a certificate of endorsement. Include your endorsement certificate with your permanent residence application. Let's move to the next slide. Once you have endorsement certificate, then you have two options. The first one is you can apply for permanent residency, and the second one is to apply for temporary work permit. If you choose second option, then you can fly to Canada right away. You can also work in Canada while your application is in process. I want to mention that you must send your permanent residence application within 90 days of submitting your temporary work permit app, but most of the people always opt for this option. Let's have a look on steps to apply for your permanent residency if you got selected under this program. So let's click here. Apply for permanent residency. You can see here the first step is that you must now apply online. So sign in on this portal, which is Permanent Residence on an application portal, where you can submit your application if you want to become permanent residents of Canada. And refer to instruction guide IMMO 154 for the important information about your eligibility fee and how to apply. So let's move to the next point, which is step number 2, fill out your forms. So you must fill out these digital forms online. You will fill out these digital forms online by yourself and for your family members also. So the forms which you need to fill out is generic application form, Canada, IMM 008, schedule a background or declaration form, which is IMM 5, 669. The third one is additional family information, which is IMM 5406. The fourth one is supplementary information. Your travel, IMM 5562. So all these forms, you need to fill out in digital form. So you will be filling out these forms and then you need to submit these all forms on this online portal, which is a permanent residence online application portal. So you need to fill out all these forms. The most important thing I want to mention that download this document checklist. It has all the information that which forms you need to fill out and every document which you need to prepare for your permanent residency. This document do include that insight. I would recommend to read each and every information provided on this website and prepare your application according to that and submit on online portal. So here you can see that you have photo specifications, and then let's go to the next one, step number 3, pay your online fee. So if you want to know that how much you need to pay under this application, then simply click on this link, how to pay your fee. And then this will take you here. Then where are you applying from? Do you need to select your country? Let's say I am selecting here India. Then what type of application you are submitting? So we need to prepare here that I want to submit, permanent residence application. Which permanent residence program or document are you applying for? So we want to submit our application under Atlantic Immigration Program. So I will select that. Then click on Get Payment Instructions. So here, you can see that application fee you need to pay $13.65. And I want to mention that this includes processing fee of $8.50 and right of permanent residence fee, which is $515. If you want to submit it, another applicant along with your application, include your spouse or partner, then you need to pay another $1,365. So you can see the amount you need to pay under this application. If you need to pay for biometrics as well, then you need to pay $85 per person. I hope you guys find my videos very useful. I always try to bring videos which could help you and learn and be independent. If you like our videos, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much.